Debrief timestamp reads 0314. 5 names on the deployment manifest for Team Bravo. 2 bodies present at extraction. No remains recovered for the other 3, and no explanation offered by either survivor because neither one has stopped moving long enough to give one. Level 33 was first logged 11 years ago by a radio operator named Colin Ashworth, traveling with a wandering group of 4 that had no formal designation and no support structure. Ashworth's transmission survives in fragments. He described a level of low fluorescent light, carpeted floors the color of wet sand, and a ceiling grid that repeated without visible end in any direction. He also described, in his final coherent transmission, a rule his group had arrived at independently through loss before he ever thought to name it: keep moving. Every group that has entered level 33 since, across 11 years and at least 14 documented expeditions, has reported some version of the same rule, arrived at the same way. Not through instruction, through subtraction. Team Bravo entered level 33 9 days ago. 5 members: team lead Renata Ibarra, camera operator Douglas Feld, radio technician Priya Anand, and 2 support personnel, Marcus Whitlock and Sana Okafor. Their mandate was mapping and duration testing. They carried a handheld camcorder, 2 analog radios, and a wrist compass issued to each member for positional tracking. 2 of them walked out. The camcorder walked out with them. Feld's camcorder log is the first piece of recovered evidence, and it does not behave the way a camcorder log should. For the first 11 minutes of runtime, the internal timestamp advances in real time, matching the radio transcript minute for minute. Then, at the 11-minute 40-second mark, the timestamp jumps forward to 14 minutes 9 seconds with no visible cut in the footage. The pattern repeats 6 more times across the tape. In every instance, the jump occurs after Feld has held a static shot, meaning the camera was not panning, not moving, held level and still for approximately 90 seconds. The image before and after each jump shows the same framing. The room behind that framing does not match. The second item is a pair of photographs taken on Anand's wrist compass camera, 4 seconds apart by the device's own internal clock. Both show Whitlock standing in the same stance, weight on his left leg, right hand raised near his ear, as though straining to hear something. In the first photograph, the wall behind him is bare grey paneling. In the second, taken 4 seconds later, the wall behind him is gone, replaced by a doorway standing open onto a corridor that does not appear anywhere else in Team Bravo's recovered mapping data. Whitlock's posture has not changed between the 2 frames. His face has not changed. Only the room has changed. The third item is a radio transcript, timestamp 2241, in which Okafor is instructed to hold position and count the visible ceiling tiles above her as a passive test of the environment's response to stillness. She begins counting aloud, calmly, numbers rising in even sequence. She reaches 41 and continues without pause to 38. There is no stumble in her voice. There is no correction. She does not appear to notice the number has moved backward. The recording continues for another 40 seconds before Ibarra's voice cuts in, telling her to stop counting and start walking. Subscribe. The file gets a new entry every week, and this one is far from finished. The mechanism, as documented across Team Bravo's testimony and consistent with 13 prior expedition reports, functions as follows. When a person on level 33 remains stationary for a duration of approximately 90 seconds, the physical structure of the level outside that person's direct line of sight begins to redistribute. Walls relocate. Doorways migrate to new positions along a corridor. Furniture, where present, is repositioned or replaced entirely. The redistribution is silent. It produces no sound, no vibration, no displacement of air that any team member has ever reported feeling. And it is bound by one absolute condition, repeated in every surviving account. It will not complete, and does not appear to occur at all within a point in space that is being actively looked at. The change happens only where eyes are not. This is not treated in the file as an anomaly without explanation. It is treated as an observed behavior, consistent and repeatable. And Team Bravo's 5 members are its final and most complete demonstration. Whitlock stopped first, 4 hours and 12 minutes into the expedition, kneeling to retie a bootlace that had come loose on the carpeted floor. Ibarra's account states he was down for perhaps 70 seconds. When he stood and turned to rejoin the group, the corridor he had been kneeling in was gone. In its place was a narrow stairwell descending into dark, and Whitlock was not on it, beside it, or anywhere within the beam of Ibarra's flashlight. Okafor stopped next, roughly 90 minutes later, doubling over to vomit after what she described on the radio as a wave of nausea. Anand estimated she was still for just under 2 minutes. When Anand looked back, the space Okafor had occupied was a shallow alcove containing a single wooden chair, positioned facing the wall. The chair was still rocking slightly, as though someone had just risen from it. Feld stopped third, camcorder raised, holding a shot of a sound he believed he'd heard down a side passage. A repeated tapping, 3 beats, pause, 3 beats. He held that shot for what his own tape confirms was 1 minute and 31 seconds. When the tape jumps, as it does throughout the log, the passage behind his framing has become a solid wall, and Feld's voice does not appear on the audio again. Ibarra was the 4th to stop, and by her own account, she stopped on purpose, believing that if she remained still and watched the space around her without blinking, without turning, she could catch the level in the act of changing. She reports watching a single doorway for nearly 3 minutes. The doorway did not move. Everything behind her did. When she finally turned to check the corridor she'd walked through to get there, it was gone, replaced by a room she did not recognize, and Anand's voice on the radio told her they needed to move immediately, because Anand said she could see the walls near Ibarra shifting from where she stood. Anand is one of the 2 survivors, and her final act in the field, by her own testimony, was to never stop watching Ibarra directly, not for 1 second, all the way to the extraction point. The extraction team recovered Ibarra and Anand, still walking in place, at the exact coordinates where contact was re-established. Both were in continuous motion, feet moving, unable to stop when instructed, and unable to account for approximately 6 hours of elapsed time between their last confirmed radio contact and their recovery. Level 33 remains uncontained. It is unlisted for further expedition and the standing advisory against entry has been reissued twice since Team Bravo's extraction. One entry was added to the file 11 days after the original report was filed. It notes that Renata Ibarra was found by Debrief staff standing motionless in an assigned interview room facing the wall for a duration currently listed as under review. No cause has been recorded. No explanation has been offered. The entry ends there.